Ladies and gentlemen, we need to have a talk. We need to have a church meeting, okay? And I say this from a place of love. Over the last 2 weeks, I have been flabbergasted by some of the comments that I have seen regarding these cohabitation relationships, these marathon, go nowhere, 15 years, I'm with my boyfriend slash my girlfriend slash my baby's daddy, baby's mama. Y'all just get married already. Listen, at this point, I don't know who's gonna be upset with me because of this message, but I don't really care because some things just gotta be said. The manosphere people, they probably gonna absolutely stand up and applaud for whatever it is I gotta say. The single women, the permanent girlfriends, the baby's mamas, they gonna hate me by the end of this message. And either way it goes, I'm okay with it because at a certain point, some stuff just gotta be said. So over the last couple of weeks, there has been a discourse on TikTok specifically about the relationship between the now deceased rapper Rich Homie Quan and his long-term girlfriend and mother of 2 of his 5 children. On social media, they live together. I guess they've been in a relationship off and on for 15 years. And when it all came down to it, the mom and the daddy planned his funeral arrangements. The funeral, at the funeral, everybody that spoke didn't highlight this one person as, you know, above the rest. And the actual obituary, all the way at the very, very bottom, after mentioning the stepmom, stepdads, bonus people, sisters, brothers, children, was a line that said something to the effect of he had a special relationship with the mothers of all his children, and they each had their first name, 1, 2, 3, 4, at the bottom. Well, the girls on TikTok was losing their minds because they thought, well, if she's a live-in girlfriend, she should be more special. If this person is a baby's mama with the 2 kids that lives with him and that's the current girlfriend, she should be more special. But it's not. A girlfriend is a girlfriend, a wife's a wife. So let's fast forward to what this has to do with real estate. So I did a TikTok and I basically said, y'all, that's not how this works. When you break up, well, when that relationship, or when that person expires, the relationship expires. And at this point, that person expires and you're left with nothing. Well, I thought this was common sense, but apparently it was not. And so that leads me to say this. The people that are in these long-term boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, I have just a little bit of advice when it comes to your housing situation. So a lot of the comments was, well, you don't know, he might have had her in a will, you don't know, she gonna be okay, she gonna be fine, all of these things. My hypothesis was bigger than them. My hypothesis is around basically saying, hey, this could happen to any one of you, no matter if you are low income, mid income, or high income. I have people contact me on a very regular basis because they're in these situations and they have nowhere to live. They have nowhere to go. Their name may not be on the house, or even worse, they can't afford the house by themselves. And that puts everybody in a bad situation. So if you are an unmarried couple and you would like to go into a financial asset like a home together, just having the name on the deed is not gonna be the end all be all necessarily. So first off, you need to understand, how is that title vested? Well, let me go back. 1, just because somebody's on a mortgage does not necessarily mean that they're on the deed. And that was something that shocked a lot of people. 2, let's talk about the 3 ways that that title can be vested if indeed there is an additional person or entity that's on the title. Now, in this case, their house, I believe, was in the LLC. But for everybody else that doesn't have houses in the LLC, your scenario could look something like this. Either you have tenancy by the entirety, that means that you are married to someone. And when that person passes away, you inherit their share automatically, the entire share of ownership that the person that has passed away has. All right. Number two, you can have what's called joint tenancy. This can have 2 people, 3 people, 5 people, any number of people. And all of those 2, 3 people, 5 people, they have equal shares of whatever the property is, okay? If one of those people passes away, this is how I said it over on TikTok. Some people was offended, but I don't really care. It's like it's joint. So think about like a joint, right? A joint passes, right? When you doing a little circle, it's supposed to be equal, right? And so it passes equally amongst the remaining people that are owners of that property. All right, y'all get it? So joint, and then you have tenancy by the entirety. All right. The last one is more common when it's people that's unmarried. It's more common when it's business relationships, or like sometimes it may be a brother and a sister and their spouses, and they want to buy a house in the mountains, and so it's 4 people, you know, that sort of thing. So you have tenancy in common. So tenancy in common can be amongst multiple people. And when somebody that twosome, foursome, whatever, passes away, it does not automatically go to the people that remain on the title. It goes to whoever is going to inherit that from them. It might mean it goes to probate, or whoever they have assigned it to go to in their will. It can go, shoot, if I got it written down somewhere, it could go to dang on Michael Jordan if I want it to, or if the person wants it to. It can go wherever. But the point that y'all need to understand is that it doesn't go to whoever is remaining on the title. Okay, so I don't know if this was clear, but I would like to make sure that this is super, super duper clear. If somebody passes away and they have parents, their parents could potentially get everything. If somebody passes away and they have kids, their children, 1 kid, 2 kids, 10 kids, everything gets divided amongst them. If somebody passes away and it's just 2 unmarried people, in any and all circumstances, the girlfriend, boyfriend, baby mama, whatever, you get nothing. Like, you're left out of the whole equation. And that is the point, because I don't want people getting caught in semantics and missing the point. So even though a lot of the girlies are like, oh, I'm protected, I'm on that deed. Let me school y'all on something. And this is the part where, like I said, I think the people in the manosphere, they gonna like it. And the girls, y'all not gonna like this, but it's the truth. Men are far more business savvy and financially astute than women can be, especially when it comes to issues like this. I do loans. I've been doing loans for 10 years. And in my 10 years, a woman is far more likely to go through the mortgage process and then get to the end and be like, I want to add my boyfriend. Baby, sugar plum, I want to hold your hand when I tell you this. Men don't do that. The only time a man will go through the mortgage process by himself and then add somebody on to the title is if that person is his wife. And what's so funny about this to me is, and you can ask anybody in real estate, we know where this relationship is going even when you don't realize it. The man will go through and they like, oh, you gonna have her on the title, you gonna add her, and when they like, or they don't bring it up first, I just be thinking, maybe y'all will get married at the next house, girl, because it won't be at this one, because men don't do that. So for all of the girls, it's like, you don't know, he probably had her on all of his stuff. That's not what men do. Men do not operate like that. Men don't function like that. You either a wife or you're not to a man. These men, they are very clear in their understanding of what marriage means legally, and they are very clear on what they're gonna do with you. Point blank, period. And this idea that we are now trying to redefine the role of a wife when someone passes away, or the importance of being a wife when someone passes away. And I mean, obviously it can be flip-flop, but let's be honest, men tend to go before the women do. Y'all are delusional. You are out of your mind to think anybody. First of all, young people just don't be sitting around dreaming up death and thinking about, oh man, when I die, let me go ahead and get to a state planning attorney. Let me go ahead and get this written down, because I have all these children and I don't want to leave chaos and confusion behind me. Yeah, y'all, let's be so for real. If you find yourself in this position and you find yourself in a situation where you are this long-term girlfriend, baby, again, I'm telling you from a place of love, you got some decisions that you need to make. This whole, well, I'm sure so-and-so had life insurance. Honey, let me even be even more real. Black people are the kings and queens of GoFundMes. Okay? So all of these hypotheses and theories about, oh, that wouldn't happen to me because everybody, according to my comments, 100% of people that's in relationships have insurance. And according to my comments, 100% of people that's in those comments have wills. And that's just not true. They don't. When someone passes away, heaven forbid, oh my God, and don't let the person have been married before. You don't know if they've done their paperwork to get that ex-wife off of their paperwork. You don't know if they even still married, if quiet as it's kept. Okay. It's a lot that you don't know and that you need to learn and that you need to explore. If you choose to be in these long-term relationships, these marathon go nowhere relationships, you're gonna find yourself out in the cold. Again, there are tons of stories under my comments where people are like, yeah, because when my uncle died and he lived with his girlfriend, my auntie pulled up with the police and had that woman politely escorted out of her house because she was still the wife after being separated for 6 or 7 years. A wife is a wife. A wife has the power. A wife is at the top of the pyramid, the top of the food chain. You're a girlfriend. You are nothing. You are nobody. You are insignificant. And you best be happy to even be invited to the funeral at all. Because guess what? There was another person in the comments that said that they was in this relationship with this man. The man died and she didn't even get invited to the funeral. So again, I say that to say this. Y'all women, y'all need to tighten up. You need to tighten up on your financial affairs, and you need to tighten up on whatever the status is that you have. And again, these never ending, go on forever boyfriend, girlfriend situationships. So again, if you insist on purchasing property as an unmarried couple, best believe that man is not thinking the same way that you thinking all the time. Engagement ring or not. So if you're going to go into a situation where you want to purchase a home and you are unmarried, you need to get some stuff written down on paper before, and you need to update it after y'all have gotten into this house and you see they're taking ill or whatever the situation is, and make sure that you're okay. Because at the end of the day, again, according to my comments where people start talking about, oh, I've been with this person and I'm on everything, my name is all over everything. Y'all act like that can't be contested in court. What? You could challenge stuff like that. That's what are you talking about? But again, if you're that invested into somebody that you put your name on everything and y'all have shared assets, just get married. Like how I told the people on TikTok, baby, you could avoid this whole conversation, this whole potential heartache and heartbreak when you kicked out of a house, or when you find yourself in a situation that you can't afford the house that y'all in and then built this life together. You can avoid it with 10 minutes and $200 at the courthouse. Go get you a husband. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm interested to hear what y'all got to say about this. How do y'all feel about these marathon relationships that don't end in marriage? Do you feel like you should find a way to protect yourself? Do you feel like the juice is not worth the squeeze by protecting yourself? You just pick up and go on? Have you all ever heard of anybody in a situation like this? I would love to hear your horror stories, because like I said, at this point, in this black community right now, I'm a little bit concerned, because it sounds like these long-term babies mamas are trying to take the position of a wife socially. You could try that. You could say it all day long. Your homegirls might high-five you and take shots with you on that. But when it comes down to these benefits with the federal government, and oh, what about common law? Baby, you out in the cold. So please share these relationships. Y'all, let people understand that you don't have to be a famous person to be a cautionary tale. The person next door can be the cautionary tale for you. All right. Thank y'all so much. If you got questions, comments, concerns, I love to hear them below. I'll meet you in the comments. Y'all have a great day. Bye.